You know, about 7 years ago now, our Sunday school teacher, Jay Hottinger, who was a state representative, said to me one morning, he said, "Jerry, you know we're going to get a new road from Columbus and New Albany into Newark, Granville and Newark." And I said, "Really?" I said, "You mean 161? And that I knew had been talked about for a long time. And we spoke about that a little bit that morning. He said, "You know, when that happens, that's really going to open up downtown Newark to Columbus and to New Albany, to the metropolitan center." And so we started talking about that a little bit. And about 3 years ago, I thought, well, you know, like Dale Carnegie says, you get one time for a first impression. And our impression of Newark coming in from the eastbound side of the freeway there in downtown Newark on 4th Street was not an attractive entrance. There were a lot of old dilapidated apartment buildings there and some old office buildings, and they just weren't attractive at all. So I went to the city fathers and the county fathers, and even went to HUD and tried to get some people interested in demolishing some of them old buildings to give us a front entrance door to Newark that would be very pleasing to our guests as they come in. And I couldn't get that accomplished. I have two fellows that are very good friends of mine in Newark. One of them contributed $100,000 to my project, to buying real estate there, and the other one bought a half a lot with me. The downtown Newark area, as far as I'm concerned, is right in its development stage at this point, and I knew it would be, or I thought it would be, in the middle of 2010 when that road would open. And the road did open. Route 161-37 opened on June the 17th of 2010. And now we have a nice entrance of just, we've cleared the buildings, we bought 15 properties, and we bought them ourselves, other than with one friend of mine who was Gib Reese. Gib bought a lot with me and split it 50-50, and Howard Lefevre contributed $100,000 to me for that venture. And we've spent about $3 million of our own money on buying this real estate. We're now in process of talking to some people about design and market studies and the feasibility of different kind of ventures to go on that site. And we hope to build some restaurants. We hope to build maybe a conference center, maybe a nice hotel. And we'd like to have some things there that will really and truly enhance the front door of Newark. And we believe that can be the beginning of developing downtown Newark. My grandmother and grandfather were from Nashport, Ohio, east of Newark, about 15 miles, and every Saturday they would come to Newark to do what they called their trading. And they would take their groceries and go home on Saturday evenings then, and next Saturday they'd do the same thing again. So downtown Newark was their town. My mother and dad, we did the same thing when I was growing up. They lived just east of Newark, about 10 miles. And Dad and Mother and myself and my two sisters, we'd come to town every Friday evening to get groceries and do our shopping. And that's before the shopping centers came into place. And then, now then, I have 6 children and 20 grandchildren and 6 or 7 great-grandchildren, as a matter of fact. And we all live east of Newark ourselves. So downtown Newark, Ohio is our town. A lot of other people's town too, of course, but it really means a lot to us. So we're trying to develop downtown. We're working with the city, we're working with the county, we're working with some good designers, we're working with some people with feasibility studies, and we believe in a couple of years, when you drive into Newark, it'll be a very pleasant entry. And we're thinking that people, and what we want people to say, gee, when they come in, isn't Newark a nice place? And that's our ultimate goal.